What's up, guys? So, I've been giving Skype lessons to a lot of you from all over the world, and there's a few patterns that I've noticed for just like the types of things that people are struggling with. And it actually seems like a lot of you guys are struggling with the same things. And one of the most common questions that I'm getting lately is, how do you make melodies as opposed to just playing scales? Because it seems like people have a fairly easy time looking up scales on the internet. I would say like most of my students who come to me for the first time can at least play a major scale. So like they're able to do something like this. And that's all fine, but what they really want is to make music, to play melodies and lines. So they're coming and asking this question: how do I turn this scale, this set of notes, into actual melodies and lines that sound like music? And one of the tips that I give people that I think has the most impact is to figure out a way to very intentionally end your lines. So what do I mean by very intentionally end your lines? So here's what I don't mean. I'm going to play a little bit, and I'm going to not do this at all. So here we go. So you can see that I'm just kind of meandering, and I feel like that's what a lot of people are stuck doing when they learn a scale but don't know how to make melodies, is they just kind of sound like they're meandering, and it's not very convincing, and it doesn't sound very confident. So now I'm going to play again, but this time I'm going to intentionally end every line that I play, and listen to the difference it makes. So you can see that it really starts to sound like music. But this is very difficult to just start doing if you've never done it before. So just like playing lines, I think it's actually best to find an example, learn it, practice it, and then play it all over the place. Just like you were learning a line, you can learn an ending to a line and kind of put it on the end of everything. So here's just one example. I'm gonna, you can come up with your own examples, but here's an example that I'm gonna use for the sake of just this video and for teaching you guys. So at the beginning of this tune, I was playing over the chord changes to Blue Bossa. So I'll use the first chord of that, which is a C minor. So here's a C minor, and here's my ending. Play it again. So it starts on the 5th, 9th, 4, flat 3. So that's the ending to a line. It's not the whole line. So what I'll do is I don't generally play the same line before it each time when I'm practicing. I practice them slow, and I just sort of play a couple notes and then end it with that. So maybe And I think you'll notice if you start practicing, come up with a couple of endings, or just to start out, come up with just one really solid ending, and just play around on one chord and practice ending everything with that. And learn it up and down the neck. Like up here it'll be, and here it's, and then maybe learn it here, down an octave. And then you'll start to kind of end, you can end faster lines with it too, Stuff like that. And once you have that done really well, is start to kind of move it around and see if you can play it over other chords. Like, for example, in Blue Bossa, there's a D flat major. So how could I play something like that over D flat major? I might start on the third here and go like third, seventh, ninth, root. And that way I can have that ending on different chords, because obviously you're not going to always be ending a line on the same chord. And then once you kind of have it moved around to a few keys and you're starting to get really comfortable ending your lines that way, you can start to try to put together a whole solo, or play over a tune where you end all of your lines that same way, or as many as you can. So maybe I'll play like a little bit over Blue Bossa now, and I'll try to use that line everywhere. So here we go.